Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video of your Warzone weekly update. Everything Warzone, Modern Warfare, CDL, whatever you need to know, we've got it for you. So this week we got our first big lot of Warzone patch notes for Warzone 2. Quite a lot of fixes, which is nice to see. They're focused on the bug fixes first of all, rather than the guns. Which, to be fair, actually, I think most guns are pretty balanced right now.
Yeah.
I think most guns are pretty balanced. There's nothing that's madly over the top. There's a couple of guns that obviously just don't bother, but you're always going to have guns at the bottom. Like, it's inevitable. But yeah, so I think they've done the right thing for sure. We've got a lot of bug fixes, which was nice. Warzone specifically, they've removed the counter UAVs from the buy station along with the TAC cameras. I probably wasn't looking for them, but I never actually saw the TAC cameras in there in the first place.
I did see the counter UAVs. I did find it a bit weird that the counter UAVs were in there, but
yeah. That's right. To be fair, they serve a purpose, but UAVs aren't popping up too much really.
Not compared to like Rebirth Warzone.
No, exactly. They're doing. I think they've done it all really well for that. Contract activation phones in Battle Royale. They were slightly larger. They were almost invisible. They were so small. They were on a floor on a shelf. You really had to look for them. So yeah, I'm glad that was a nice little change. A little quality of life stuff. So a lot of different fixes they've done. Prox chats, like various like sticker things like that. But in terms of like big ones, like a lot of game crashing. There's a lot of game crashes, games freezing, sending you back to the main menu, dev errors. Like they were when we were streaming the other night, we actually had a crash counter on the screen. We got up to 5 in the hour and 20 minutes we were playing for. We had five crash counters.
Not ideal.
And that was the night they done the patch. So we were on, and then they released the patch after we were finished. That wasn't ideal. Fixing issue causing players to lose all control of mouse movement if interacting with a container with mixed backpack behavior. You had that a few times, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like looting containers, and then I'd like come out of it or something, and then my camera would just be from here, and then I would just be looking at the floor in the bottom right, and it would be instant, and I'm very confusing. But I haven't had it since.
Very, very useful if somebody has snuck up on you and laid on the floor next to you. Apart from that, awful, horrendous. Glad to see that one's fixed. There was quite a few issues with the Gulag. I know they've increased the audio reference for when the jailer comes in. I know you said a few times you were like never heard that the jailer came in.
Yeah, unless he's right behind you with a minigun. Yeah.
Like you hear his gun just spooling up behind you, and you're like, oh shit.
Scary moment.
But yeah, so glad that's fixed. The Gulag just making you spectate random people, or in this case, apparently spectating from underneath the playable area. I didn't have that. There was a few cases though where we was in the Gulag. I lost in the Gulag, but the teammate that I was put with actually won the Gulag for us. But it told us both that we were eliminated and then threw us back into the game.
Yeah, that was odd.
That's a bit of one, but I'm glad that's fixed as well. This was the biggest one for me. This was the biggest one, which, to be fair, I think they fixed that really early, before this patch came out, which is fixed an issue causing players to skip the down state and immediately perish despite having an assimilated squad member still alive. I think they patched that fast, because that happened to us on the first 2 days.
Yeah.
And then I never saw it after that. So I think they did fix that one fast, which was nice. But that was very, very annoying. Knowing that you should be alive, but you've just flopped. Fixing the issue with preventing players from jumping out of the plane during infill. I never had that.
No, me neither.
I never had an issue with that, but apparently it was an issue for some. Issue causing the after-action report from appearing correct from... What? Wait, am I reading this right? Fixed an issue causing the after-action report from appearing Oh, causing it the after report from appearing. Oh, so he's saying it appeared incorrectly.
Yeah.
I was being like properly illiterate there. I couldn't read anything. There's been a few DMZ updates as well. People having issues with their lethal and tacticals. A lot of things about like the stickers and stuff and like that in DMZ. Obviously, people are playing the DMZ mainly for like the loot you get out of DMZ. And then you've got all the patch notes that cover like Call of Duty, like blanket. Like you got the ones that cover Modern Warfare and everything else. Camos being corrected to track correctly. I see a lot online about this. Armor piercing ammunition removed damage multiplier against armored opponents. Like I didn't realize that people were actually using it. But yeah, if it makes sense for me that works on vehicles, like armor piercing rounds on vehicles. If you have armor piercing rounds against opponents, although technically they're armor piercing rounds, it should work. You're gonna like ruin the TTKs of everything at that point. All the TT because everyone will whack it on. If that's how it works, everyone will start running it. And then to counter that, they either have to do what they've done now, or if they don't do that and people want armor piercing rounds to have multipliers, you've got to drag the TTKs right up to counter for that. Which nobody wanted because people would have an issue with that as well. But this is the internet. People will have an issue with anything you do. And that's how it works. We are the internet now, and that's how it works. Facts about life. We're going to go on a tangent now, just like the little article I read today. And scrolling through the comments, and it's your controller versus your keyboard and mouse players, and it's hilarious every time. Hilarious every time. Oh, you've got aim assist. Oh, but you have macros. You're all cheaters. Like, it never gets old. It will go on till the day that it will go on forever. It will just go on forever.
So it used to be the console wars. Now that there's like cross-play and everyone plays together, it's now about your input device and your peripherals.
Yeah,
that's the new war.
People love to hate, and this is the internet. Bug fixes on Modern Warfare and everything else. A lot of directional audio. They fixed a lot of directional audio, which is nice to hear because that is always very annoying. Variant elements across the game allowing players to exploit, peek, shoot through them. I did see a couple of videos where I think it was Fuglet who streams over on Facebook. I'm sure it was him. He interacted with something, and then no building had walls after that. He could see through every single wall. Like they were just disappeared. The walls completely went after he interacted with something.
That is pretty scary.
Like it was like mad. But yeah, that's all fixed now. Not tracking weapon progression, which is always nice. Overkill to allow players to equip the same weaponry, primary and secondary. You had that previously.
Yeah, I was really confused by that. I had like 2 tacks on my loadout, and I was like, I don't remember doing that. I think I was editing them, and yeah, it let me do multiple of the same gun. It was very strange.
Then we've got fixing your battle pass tokens appearing correctly in the menus. I think pretty much everyone's experienced that. But again, it's just a little quality of life feature that is working properly now. A lot of other like texting games, that sort of things. A lot of bug fixes. If you want to scroll through them all, please jump over to the Raven Software website. All the patch notes are on there. All the little bug fixes are on there. Take a look at those. But the other things that have been happening this week is the Optic Texas 100k Warzone tournament, which was awesome. It was really good. It's always cool. Nice to see all the big players out actually. Like, if this was a 2v2 kill race, so you drop in as a quad. So 2 of these teams will drop in as a quad, but they both go their separate ways, and you're competing to get the highest kills in the game between you and your one teammate against the other 2 guys. It's a really fun format. You're basically seeing the guys play duos in quads. And yeah, it was really exciting. I was flicking through a lot of perspectives. I know we both were. I watched a lot of Jukesy, FIFA, Z-Langer and Destroy. Iceman Isaac, Doc and Courage. Who else was I watching? I can't remember who else I watched now. Oh, I did watch some Skullface and Hisoka as well. And then on the Optic Texas Twitch page, they had all the brackets that were happening, all the matches that were happening, and you could follow along who was winning and losing, which was nice. They played it really well. They set the whole thing up really nicely. So credit to them on that. But yeah, it was really good tournament. I'm sure all of the players in the pro category and in the streamer category, which you can see right there. There was 75k to the pros, 25k to the streamer category. If you want to catch up on any of it, I'm sure it is all on their VODs because everyone was streaming it. I did see that Cloaksy won the creator category, but he is extremely extremely good. So
Yeah,
they both are both players on that team. Doc and Courage coming third in the creator category. From what I saw, they both played well, but I'm pretty sure Courage really pulled it in for their team. But yeah, really good. But all of it was very exciting, and we got to have a little peek at what weapons we're going to be using mainly. It's always nice. You take a look at the pro tournaments that come out, and then you get a good idea of what these guys who are playing 10 hours a day, what guns that they're favouring. And there was a couple that sort of you could see that each of them mainly went for, right?
yeah. I mean, from what I saw, it's sort of your main guns, like the roll. Big fan of that myself. Been using it lately. Just incredibly
Really hits
punchy
hard.
gun. Like, just it's got everything really. Like, the only thing it lacks is obviously mobility, bit of a slow reload, but for that you just get absolute just chunking machine. Just especially if you're playing quads as well, like duos in quads, which they were. Like, great gun, 75 round mag default. You can up it, whatever. The RPK is really reliable. Pretty much a better version of the Kastov 762, just obviously a bit slower, but the reload's not bad on it actually compared to ARs and stuff. The Kastov 762 itself was obviously really in there.
Yeah.
I saw quite a few people using that. I saw Warzy using that, and obviously he won with his partner, and the man was shredding people with that gun.
Guy's got laser accuracy though.
Oh,
Absolute
like
lasers.
the 762 can be a little bit tricky with the horizontal movement on it, and you can try and to tune it for some stabilization, but it still has a little bit of movement. So you have to have a bit of skill to use it. So yeah, the man was shredding people with it. In terms of secondaries, obviously your Fenix, your Lachman subs. A big fan of the Lachman sub as well, but the dual P890 pistols are savage.
They are something else. They really are.
These have sort of, I feel like in the last few days these have sort of just crept in, and yeah, like you put a few, you put your sort of your standard dual pistol attachments. Obviously you got your akimbo on there, your 5 milliwatt laser sort of attachments to make it get the hip fire. Maybe put a bigger mag on them, and they're
like 2 or 3 shotting people as long as you're hitting like chest.
Yeah,
Nuts.
I feel like they might catch a nerf
once
they're sort of through all the bug fixes and the sort of the quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
I hope they get all that out of the way before they start nerfing guns.
Yeah, get people actually able to play the game first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so which is what they've been doing so far. I hope they continue to do that. But yeah, the meta's looking good. I've seen some TAC 56s in there as well.
Yeah.
I didn't see many snipers. I don't know if you did.
No, not really. A couple of people like sort of using them, or using like a couple of people using an EBR as well. Seeing a few of those around, but because there's not a clean one shot headshot with a sniper, it's just not being favoured.
Only
not useful anymore.
Only the new one, the Victus with explosive rounds, has to be explosive rounds, can one shot headshot from range.
Yep.
But I think you lose a bit of velocity with the explosive rounds. But
yeah, so yeah, I just don't think people are favouring it because they can't get that one hit. They can't, because originally you get a one shot headshot, and then if it's a quads team, your team can then you've got a gap to push into that now. You've got a good space, or
Yeah.
you're just getting a knock and a wipe or something like that. But it's not viable anymore. It's not as useful. So it's more useful now to have an AR or at the moment seemingly an LMG mostly.
I'm quite glad that LMGs are sort of finding a way into the meta, because I know we've had LMG metas in the past, mainly the Bruin, but a lot of the
Yeah,
LMGs, people were like, yeah, they're great, but they're too slow. But it's nice to see that
yeah.
people are actually favouring slower guns, but they're, actually
The
realising
whole
that they're,
game's slowing now, right? So
yeah,
it's not like you're swapping to an AR and oh my god, I'm so much faster now.
yeah.
It just doesn't happen now. So the LMGs are much more viable because you're not losing that much sprint speed anymore.
No, and obviously the fact that you can tune stuff, all right, it's kind of negligible, a few percentages here and there, but you can tune them for a bit more ADS walking speed, a bit more
Yeah.
ADS. They're a lot faster to ADS than previously
Oh, for
in
sure,
like
for sure.
Warzone 1. So, yeah, they've sort of, found their little place at the moment, which I'm quite happy about.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
yeah, snipers are not the opener that they used to be,
No,
but maybe they'll change that. But
no.
yeah, it's
But all the SMGs now. Like you've got the Lachman and the Fennec. The Fennec is powerful,
mm,
it really is. There's a couple that sort of wouldn't bother. What is it? The PDSW is it?
yeah, basically the P90,
Yeah, shocking,
very
shocking,
weak.
absolute tickle machine. Like you're shooting marshmallows. Like there is
Not
actually a
great.
bug fix that they brought out that if you're editing the PDSW, it was crashing people's games.
Yeah.
No, so it
Or
wasn't
it
crashing. It was
booted you.
booting you back to the main menu.
Yeah, yeah.
If you are editing the PDSW, you deserve to go back to the main menu. You deserve to waste your own time.
That is true, honestly.
The gun
They
shocking,
should revert that.
shocking. That should be an actual feature in the game.
Yeah.
Gun's so bad that you deserve to be kicked back to the main menu. Don't even level it. What's the point? I don't know, you probably get some good attachments from leveling it, to be fair, but it's not for me. It's not for me. But apart from that, I am now just looking forward to what's coming next week. We'll see the patch notes next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, and then we'll see what comes out. Hopefully, more bug fixes.
Yeah.
If they do, or if they've, I'd about to say if they do all of the bug fixes, there's never an end to the bug fixing.
No.
It's just how Warzone works, how any game of this size works. There's never an end to the bug fixes. They just find more.
Yeah.
But once the game is fully playable, which to be fair, at the moment I think it is, with these bug fixes, I can't see issues really.
The last 2 to 3 days have been a lot better. I think we played last night. We didn't know if it's crashed as far as I'm aware.
No crashes, no glitches. Everyone stayed alive when they were supposed to stay alive. No random deaths. Yeah, I think they've done a good job on the bug fixing so far. Hopefully they continue through the next week to get the bug fixes out. And then maybe they can look at tuning different aspects of guns after that. But exciting week of Warzone. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more content coming out. Obviously, you're all going to see a lot more content from us. You're going to see a lot more content from all of the creators online, different things people are finding, new information coming out. So that's going to be really exciting. And until that point, we will see you all next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.